United States National Bank, the bank with new money ideas, is most pleased to bring you this unusual sports film. United States National Bank, one of the largest and fastest growing banking institutions in the West, now has 59 offices to serve you with every banking convenience and facility. Use our face card, the master charge card with your color photo on it. If you lose it, no one else can use it. And our unique bonus balance checking overdraft plan, and our exclusive saving insurance plan. This week, open an account at your nearest United States National Bank branch and learn more about the bank with the face card. Only you can get a charge out of it. This stadium is the darkness before a season's dawn. This is the starting point, but for the San Diego Chargers, more than a new season will begin. This will be the genesis of a new era of Charger football. The opening of a new decade, the era of a new league, a season of the most demanding schedule in Charger history, all to be initiated by the challenge of a living legend and his team of super Colts. But opening kickoff optimism was about to be tinged by one maddening word which would haunt an entire season. The simple word, almost. The season began with a lofty goal, an ominous sign, and the threat of a maestro in high tops. The Charger defense set out to make Johnny Unitas mortal. They stole his passes, then his protection, and Johnny U was showing all 37 of his years. San Diego introduced the combination on which the offense would be based all season. John Hadl to Gary Garrison. This combination clicked twice, and the Chargers had a 1-point lead with 4 minutes to hang on against an old man. But when time is of the essence, the old man is still the master of cool. Unitas and pass interference set up young Jim O'Brien with 56 seconds remaining. A rookie kicker preparing for his first pro test, but also for 16 weeks in the future and another last-second kick. This time the stakes would be higher. A world championship would be won. San Diego was the first step to the championship as O'Brien foreshadowed his destiny and introduced the Chargers to almost 16-14. In the second week, a strong wind blew away the bad taste and brought in the Raiders. In this match, there are no mysteries. When the Raiders and the Chargers meet, it's time to screw down your hat for some sticking.
37 blow on one. Ready? Left!
Hey, come on, defense. Pick it up. Boy, let's go.
The hitting was equal, but Oakland held to a 7-point lead with only minutes remaining. On the sideline, an injured Lance Allworth prepared his aching legs for one easy strider. A 27-27 tie was fair measure of the match it had been. A tie, but still no win. Now on to a Mission Valley Monday night. Again, they opposed a legend of a quarterback, number 15, Bart Starr. Starr pushed his team to a 2-touchdown lead while the anxious Chargers searched for their night legs. It was not until the fourth quarter that they found them. The Chargers roared out of their trance with 14 points and took a 1-point lead with bare minutes remaining. But once again, their foe was no ordinary middle-aged man. First, Unitas, now Starr. Unbelieving, the dazed Chargers looked on as once again the shadowy shapes of almost plunged their victory hopes into blackness. Blooded but unbowed, the Chargers surveyed Chicago and a bear named Butkus. They were not to be intimidated and vowed to make the Bears pay for 4 weeks of frustration. Leading San Diego's answer to Butkus was number 60, Bob Babbage. This rough-cut rookie had settled into the heart of the San Diego defense and was fast becoming its hub. Inborn anticipation, animal agility, innate affinity for the ball, natural middle linebacker learning to play with the pros. Babbage was the prodigy, and now against the Bears he was matched head-to-head with the professor. At last, victory had arrived, 20-6. The rookie had met the man on common ground and came away proud. On a crest of success, Babbage went home to Ohio and brought the Chargers with him. It was time to ponder half a season. Time to see if this team was cut out for contention. Time to put everything on the line against the Cleveland Browns. Babbage was home, and his teammates were right with him. When the frustrated Browns found their way close, the Chargers demonstrated an art they perfected during 1970, ball hawking. San Diego had developed a system. When hawking a ball, the carriers first pent up, then pummeled, and then picked clean. Chuck Detweiler claimed the score for the ball hawkers. And on the sideline, Lance Allworth made sure that everything was in place for his appearance. For half a season, Gary Garrison had been the attack's main constant. Now exploding through the Browns were the lightning legs of a man who had undergone knee surgery just 6 weeks earlier. Dickie Post's contribution was hard to miss, but another brilliant performance was less evident. An offensive line of all-pro Walt Sweeney, Sam Grunison, Bill Linkaitis, and Terry Owens had unified. Theirs was the most basic battle on the field. Theirs was the most basic victory. Filling out this line was number 70, huge Russ Washington. Washington rooted, number 26, Brad Hubbard rumbled, and behind the line, the Chargers ground up the tough yardage, including the toughest of all, the last one. In the warm blush of a 27-10 victory, the ominous threat of almost was fading. Ohio was homecoming for Bob Babich, turning point for the Chargers, and showcase for a man who would lead them into the second half of the season. John Hadl had destroyed the Browns with 206 yards. But Hadl is more than statistics. He's a rugged roustabout, a rambler, a gambler, hip-slicking brazen ball shark with the hands of a Vegas dealer and the guts of a Hollywood stuntman. He is not a purist, but he is an athlete with the instincts of an ex-running back to tell him when to put on a move. The discretion of a quarterback to tell him when to get out of bounds. And the heart of a winner to tell him when to get into the end zone. He is not a purist, but he is a pro, setting up in the face of pressure and finding a way to the end zone. With Hadl at the helm, San Diego opened the second half of the season against Denver. Up along, John Hadl led his team in rushing. Hotshot John Hadl led his team in passing. Humble John Hadl let Gary Garrison lead the team in receiving. With their third win, red-hot San Diego fired right into a chilling Boston nor'easter. Joe Kapp was new in town, and everyone tried to dignify a game which wanted to be a comedy. Somehow, each team managed to remain erect long enough to filter through the murk and dredge up 14 points. So San Diego turned to its defense for the tiebreaker. They mauled Injun Joe when he tried to pass, They mugged him when he tried to run. They dogged the man of Machismo all afternoon and drove him back. Back until he ran out of room, where Joe Owen, Steve DeLong, and Ron Billingsley ended the chase. As the long, damp day drained out, San Diego had proven that they could win with defense. The Chargers could win with a front four which was rapidly maturing in finesse and ferocity. The Chargers could win with a vastly improved secondary. Free safety Jim Hill, number 39. Strong safety Jim Tolbert, number 43. Cornerback Bobby Howard, number 24. Cornerback Joe Beauchamp, number 40. The secondary received assistance from the front lines in the person of Pete Barnes. A potential All-Pro, Barnes handled the pressure of running back coverage with textbook precision, and he was mobile enough to roam the middle zone and emerge as his team's leading interceptor. As a whole, Charger pass defense begrudged completion, but even when a passer managed to slip one in, those raunchy ball hawkers were ready and waiting. The camaraderie of the defense manifested itself most clearly when it was time to hit. Hitting broke out on the front line. It infected the linebackers, caught on in the secondary, and spread to the special teams. The rule was hit, then hit again. And when all the hitting was done, it was time for the opposition to pull itself together. The Chargers eased into Oakland one game out of first place. Winless after 4 games, they were undefeated in their last 5. The league's top offense had to be muffled. The league's top passer had to be shut down. The Chargers were now the team to do it. Bobby Howard came up with the ball, but incredibly, Oakland ended up with the catch. A shocked Charlie Waller watched his 14-7 lead vanish, and the specter of an unfriendly place kicker reappear. This time, the villain was over 40, but with 4 seconds remaining, the outcome of George Blanda's kick was highly predictable. Sometimes on the brightest days, when all the world's a song, sometimes on the brightest days, the little things go wrong. And when that golden crown's in sight, a sinking feeling comes along that somewhere in that grand old plan, The little things went wrong. The bounces that didn't balance out. The goals that seemed so close, yet ended up so far away. The inches that stretched on for miles. The final game was ushered in by solemn gunfire. The Chargers filed in to meet the Kansas City Chiefs with a feeling which matched the hard, chilling glare of the rainy San Diego sky. One Charger faced the day with optimism. Gary Garrison was in striking distance of 1,000 yards. In a year of flux, Garrison had been the iron rod of consistency. A silky smooth technician who led pro football with an average of over 22 yards a catch. But his brilliance is measured best by the affinity he feels for the end zone. From the time he touches the ball until he touches down, Gary Garrison becomes the ghost. The spell of the ghost had spanned an entire season, and now against Kansas City, he would go after the 96 yards needed to reach his final goal. The last few were the toughest, but Garrison came to rest with 6 yards to spare, and his success lifted the gloom of a rainy afternoon. It lifted the gloom, and the defense responded as one. The front four roared to life behind number 72, Joe Owens. The middle area was controlled by Bob Babbage. The flanks were shut down by Pete Barnes. And the deep areas were patrolled by 4 scrambling ball hawkers. There was also a look toward the future. Rookie Walker Gillette caught his first pro pass. And rookie Wayne Clark threw his. The whole prime package was tied together by a pro named Hadl. Faking, throwing, rolling, scoring, pulling out the impossible play, and finding what it takes to win. This was more than one victory. It was the emergence of a team strengthened through a year of tampering. From the golden optimism of the opening trumpet blast to the nightmares of fate. From the howling threat of nature in Boston to the color-crisp triumph of Cleveland. From a role of contender to a burial by last-second losses. From all this to the soft glow of sweet victory. The 1970 season was a crusade of coming together. Sid Gilman returns to lead a team of revitalized veterans, battle-ready youngsters, and an awesome rookie named Leon Burns. This was a year to prepare. This was a year from the curse of almost to the promise of R. United States National Bank has been pleased to bring you this football feature for your entertainment. Visit your family financial center and open an account with the only bank you'll ever need. United States National Bank, the bank with a face card. Only you can get a charge out of it. Member